Warning: the following content contains a lot of spoilers. If you don't want to get spoiled, feel free to click off this video and watch a different video of mine. You're free to come back here after you completed the anime. Viewers' discretion is advised.
This was the anime I first dropped into Christmas week and I replaced it with Santa. Now that this anime has been chosen to be reviewed next, I can review it. I would like to say this anime was extremely trash. However, there were emotional scenes that maybe changed my thoughts a bit. Before I get into that, let's get right to the introduction.魔法少女サイト, also known as Magical Girl Site, is based on a manga series written by Kentaro Sato. It lasted over 16 volumes and 139 chapters from 2013 to 2019, while the anime series was released in 2018 and lasted only 12 episodes. It was animated by Production Doa, a now defunct animation studio since 2019, I believe. The animation studio also animated a movie of Is the Order of Rabbit, as well as an OVA. Alright, let's get right to the plot. We start the anime with a girl named Aya, and Aya isn't mentally stable. She thinks about wanting to take her life. Why? She's always getting bullied by a girl named Serena and her two friends, and she's always being abused by her brother named Kaname. But one day, her computer lights up, and she is on a website called Magical Girl Site without her going on it. The website says that it has now given her a magical power, but she just brushes it off and turns the computer off. The next day, once she arrived at school, she was gifted what she believes is a toy gun inside her shoe locker. She doesn't know who gave it to her, so without knowing who gave it to her, she takes it. After school, she gets bullied once again by Serena and her two friends. This time, they brought in an older male student to violate Aya, but suddenly, Aya escapes to flee and hide from them. The male student and one of Serena's friends both find Aya, but before they could do anything, Aya pulls out her toy gun and pulls the trigger. The toy gun made both the male student and Serena's friend disappear. Moments later, they reappear on the train tracks where they both get run over and instantly killed. Aya is then shocked by what she did, so she runs back home and locks herself in the room. The next day at school, Serena starts accusing Aya of being involved in the male student and her friend's deaths, so Serena pulls out her box cutter to cut Aya's tongue off. Before Serena can cut Aya's tongue off, the time freezes, and we're introduced to a girl named Yatsumuta. Yatsumuta will grab Serena's box cutter and slit Serena's throat, and then tell Aya to come with her. Yatsumuta tells Aya that she is also a magical girl, and this makes Aya take Yatsumuta home with her. Yatsumuta tells Aya information that we also should know. Yatsumuta states that whenever she uses her power, her lifespan shortens. Let's say this: if any magical girls use their power anytime, their lifespan decreases. In what way, you may ask? Let's say their lifespan could be the same as any dog's lifespan. A Great Dane, for example. They live up to 8 to 10 years, so a magical girl could live up to that long if they keep using their power. I hope you understand that information, and let's get back to the plot. Yatsumuta also tells Aya about a magical hunter killing magical girls to steal their magical artifacts, and her friend named Rina went missing trying to investigate the magical hunter. Oh yeah, remember that Kaname abuses Aya badly? Aya tells Yatsumuta to stay with her so she can protect her from Kaname, and Yatsumuta agrees and stays with Aya. The next day, Aya gets attacked by the magical hunter, and it turns out that the magical hunter is Rina. Aya and Yatsumuta would then stop Rina and tie her hands up to speak with her, and Rina tells them why she's been killing other magical girls. Rina says that she wants to survive to the end. She then explains that she met the website's manager who told her about a secret page with a countdown to an event called the Tempest, and she said the world they are in will be destroyed and will open the door to a new one. Rina would then cough up blood due to her using too much power. Rina goes to the hospital where she's now in a coma. Aya then gets an idea to find a magical girl who can heal Rina so she can continue telling both Aya and Yatsumuta everything she knows. So they go through Rina's slaughter notebook and they find a girl named Nijimi, and Nijimi is an idol part of a huge girl group. So both Aya and Yatsumuta go to a venue where Nijimi's group is performing to talk to Nijimi, who would later invite them to her home. Nijimi is also a magical girl who can use mind control, but here's what happened to her that still makes her extremely pissed. One of her friends was also a magical girl, but she was killed by Rina, and during the time right now, she's still extremely pissed at Rina and wants to kill her. So Aya and Yatsumuta now know that if she tells Nijimi about Rina, Nijimi would want to kill Rina. Aya and Yatsumuta return to the hospital to visit Rina, and want to know who else is at the hospital? Serena is there as well. She survived Yatsumuta's throat slit attack, while Kaname at the same time goes inside Aya's room to scroll through Aya's search history, where he finds the magical girl site. This will become important later. Serena goes inside a hospital room Rina is in, where she finds the website manager named Nana. Nana would give Serena a magical artifact so she could become the next magical hunter, just like Rina was. Meanwhile, Yatsumuta asks Aya why Serena and her friends bullied her. The reason why will anger you, so trigger warning. Aya would get bullied due to how Aya had a problem being shy around everyone. Aya was a transfer student during the time, which explains why she was shy. Serena would be nice with Aya until Aya never thanked Serena for everything she was doing for her, and this made Serena extremely furious. From that day forward, Serena and her friends would bully her non-stop. After Aya told Yatsumuta about that information, Yatsumuta told Aya that it wasn't her fault and not to blame herself for everything. Back in school, a new transfer student appears in Aya, Yatsumuta, and Serena's class, and it's Nijimi. Why is Nijimi in Aya's school? She decided to retire temporarily as an idol due to the fact that she wants to kill Rina. Oh yeah, Yatsumuta doesn't show up to class, which makes Aya worried, so Aya goes to Yatsumuta's apartment to check on her, and she finds her on the floor passed out due to the same reason as Rina. She used too much of her power. Aya also discovers a male prisoner in her apartment. Turns out the male prisoner is someone who killed Yatsumuta's parents when she was little. So when Yatsumuta got her magical artifact, she kidnapped him and imprisoned him. After a while, Serena shows up, and she has a magical artifact to kill both Aya and Yatsumuta in revenge for her friend's death. Serena also reveals that she told Nijimi that Rina is inside the hospital so she can kill her, but luckily for Rina, Yatsumuta uses a magical artifact that blocks Nijimi from hurting Rina. Aya and Serena would fight for a while, but suddenly, the building crashes down, and surprisingly, Aya saves Serena from dying by using the magical artifact that teleported her back to her classroom. Aya and Yatsumuta survived due to the same artifact that was used to protect Rina, and they are taken to the hospital. Nijimi would later give up trying to kill Rina in the hospital, so she heads to Aya's home, and she sees not Aya, but Kaname. This is where I start hating Kaname even more. Nijimi starts falling in love with Kaname due to his appearance, and this makes Kaname want to start using her so he can know about the magical girl site he went on. Meanwhile, a girl named Kosame enters the room Rina is in to heal her, and I'm not making this up, Kosame heals Rina by using her blood and letting it drip inside her mouth. I know, it sounds gross. Kosame and Rina would then visit Aya and Yatsumuta, and they are healed as well. So, who is Kosame? Kosame is also a magical girl, but from a different site. For your information, there is more than one magical girl website, not just the one you know right now. Kosame would then tell the girls more information about the Tempest. Basically, she is saying that the magical girls will survive if they hand the website a magical artifact full of negative energy. So they then have a plan to capture an administrator, working for the site and find out everything about the Tempest. Oh yeah, I haven't mentioned that if any magical girl knows too much information about the Tempest, would be killed by the website's administrators. Later on, Aya makes Yatsumuta stay with her in her house so she can have a place to live, and thankfully, Aya's parents agree to it. By the way, remember that Nijimi wants to kill Rina? She confronts both Aya and Yatsumuta about Rina, so they talk it out with her. Nijimi would then agree to help abduct the website's administrator if she can kill Rina. Speaking of Rina, everything changes. Rina transfers to their class, but before Nijimi can do anything, Aya and Yatsumuta takes Nijimi's magical artifact so she wouldn't kill Rina. Later on, Aya, Yatsumuta, Nijimi, and Rina meet with the 5 other girls from the other magical girl site. One of them is, you already know, Koname, but the other 4 are Kiyoharu, Asahi, Mikari, and Sayuki. But I will get back to them since I will mention 2 things. 1. Sarina has been threatened by Nana to mind her own business about everything. And 2. Rina became a guest inside Aya's house, and Aya gets some sad news. Kosame calls Aya to tell her that Yatsumuta doesn't have a lot of time to live. And this is of course devastating for Aya since Yatsumuta is her first friend she has made. The next day, the girls go to the beach to have their moments together, but someone else who I bet you hate the most shows up. Kaname. Kaname shows up to steal Nijimi's magical artifact from Nijimi's beach locker. What does he do with it? This sick motherfucker wears them and starts using the power controlled by them. He first tests the magical artifact by using it on an obsessed fan of Nijimi who planned on killing Kaname for quote-unquote stealing Nijimi from him. You can say this is an example of someone who claims their idol is with them and knows them when they don't. So Kaname controls the obsessed fan by using the knife on himself, and he ends up dead. Aya would witness all of that, so she ran away to go on the bus with the girls. While she's talking about that in her head, Kiyoharu uses her power to read Aya's mind, which means Kiyoharu knows about it too. The police would then investigate the death of that obsessed fan, and they end up finding a photo of that obsessed fan with Nijimi, and it has Kaname's name on it, which means he's quickly a suspect of interest in that obsessed fan's death. Later on, Nijimi returns home to see Kaname, and he reveals to her that he has been using her magical artifact. Instead of giving back Nijimi's magical artifact, Kaname shows his true colors to her, and he makes Nijimi take her life. But before he can, Kiyoharu controls Asahi to save Nijimi, which he does save Nijimi from dying, but Kaname still uses Nijimi's powers for her to strangle Asahi. Kaname then commands Asahi to kill the person controlling her, aka Kiyoharu, so Asahi runs and punches Kiyoharu in the chest. Kosame would try to use her blood to heal Kiyoharu's wound, but it doesn't work. So Aya grabs Kosame's magical artifact and uses her blood to heal Kiyoharu, which thankfully heals her. For your information, all the girls are hiding in Sayuki's house, so when Kaname is informed of all of this, he goes to the house with Nijimi to do horrible things I won't get into. While Nijimi is being told to do things by Kaname, Kiyoharu controls her to tell her what's happening, so Nijimi charges at Kaname to stop her, which makes Kaname use Sayuki's katana to slash her chest. But before Nijimi dies, she uses a broken bottle and stabs Kaname's neck, and then she dies. A now injured Kaname would then crawl to grab Kosame's magical artifact to heal himself, but before he could, an unknown detective entered Sayuki's house and arrested Kaname. The next day, a detective named Kiichiro goes to Aya and Kaname's house to speak to their parents about Kaname's disappearance. But let me tell you this, Detective Kiichiro is the one responsible for Kaname's disappearance. He was the one who arrested him. But he doesn't tell Kaname's parents about all that. So his parents just believe Kaname is missing, not arrested, or you can now say, kidnapped. Meanwhile, the news of Nijimi's death blows up all over the country, mainly since she was one of the biggest idols in the music industry. However, they do not say the real reason why Nijimi died. They just said she died in her sleep. So the girls attended Nijimi's funeral, and suddenly the building exploded. Nana was the one who exploded the building so she could kill all the magical girls. But here's the good news. They all survive after Aya uses her magical artifact to teleport all of them into an abandoned building. Wait, how did she get her magical artifacts back? Earlier before Nijimi's funeral, Aya tried to find her magical artifact, and it turns out that Serena had it with her. So Serena switches sides with Aya and all the magical girls and agrees to take down the website's managers. So Serena, who has all the magical artifacts, gives all the magical girls their magical artifacts back. So the ending is near. The first manager would be found by Aya, Yatsumura, and Rina, where Aya would use her magical artifact to teleport the manager to the rooftop where Serena would be, and finish her off. Aya also teleports Rina up there to kill the manager, and that manager ends up dead. Another manager would show up and attack Asahi, Sayuki, and Kiyoharu, while Kusame and Mikari are not fighting. Nana would then show up and shoot Serena and fight Yatsumura. Yatsumura would get defeated and become a candidate for the manager. Yatsumura as a candidate would fight Aya, Rina and Kusame helps kill Serena, and Mikari rescues Sayuki where she ends up killing the manager that attacked her. Aya would then talk to candidate Yatsumura and make her remember all her memories with Aya, and all of a sudden, Yatsumura goes back to normal, where they end up killing Nana by using Aya's magical artifact to teleport to the train tracks, where she ends up getting run over. By the end of that, all the magical girls survive, and they can all live normally. I believe for now. Oh yeah, remember that Detective Kiichiro kidnapped Kaname? Detective Kiichiro has Kaname inside a room with nothing on, and all tied up. And because Detective Kiichiro is a disgusting person, he violates Kaname. Yeah, even though Kaname is a piece of shit human being, Detective Kiichiro isn't any better. In the end, Aya and Yatsumura start living together, which means the anime ends with Yuri? I think Yuri is at the end. I hope it is, because Yuri is cute after all. Anyways, this was the most disastrous plot I have ever explained on this channel. No other anime can get any more disastrous than this. Let's move on to the animation. The animation was pretty bland, but I don't blame them since this was animated by an animation studio that was around for 2 years. I say the animation is bland due to how it felt pretty low quality and not detailed well, so they could have done better with the animation. Let's move on to the opening and ending themes. The opening is actually pretty good, and I'm surprised I like it even though it is performed by Iris, an idol group I would never listen to. The ending theme is alright, but I am terrified by how the ending looks, due to how there are seeds flying everywhere. This ending is performed by Serena's voice actress, Haruka Yamasaki. The third episode ending theme, nope, no words about this. This ending theme is performed by Nijimi's voice actress, Yu Serizawa. Let's move on to the voice acting. This is the second anime review video in a row and the 6th anime I have reviewed where the anime doesn't have an English dub. This one in particular will never get an English dub due to how this anime was released in 2018, which was 8 years ago. Anyways, the voice acting wasn't anything special to me other than how dramatic the characters were in tragic situations, but I will give it to the voice actresses who went all out on their voices to act on this anime. Let's move on to the pacing. The pacing was decent. It was pretty fast, while at the same time, it was a bit slow, but not too slow. I was only disappointed with how the pacing made me watch upsetting scenes to the point I was saying horrible things about the anime. Time for my final review. Time for my final review on Magical Girl Site. I'm placing Magical Girl Site on Is This Even Worth It above Suicide Squad Isekai. I don't like this anime, but it's not bad enough since I did enjoy part of the anime. Plus, at least it wasn't something I didn't get too mad about, other than seeing Kaname. Time for my next anime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Scrapped Princess. It's not delicious in Dungeon. Damn, I actually wish I got that. But I got Scrapped Princess. Okay then. Time for my outro. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And please follow my socials in the description down below. And since you know what my next anime is going to be, stay tuned for that. Until then, this is Enjeru signing off.